relax. You gotta let it breathe. Especially when you the one that's always dropping them keys. I would be acting more, but I take my time cause the bitches look up to me. Not trying to poison their mind with more nonsense. We got enough of that. It's in the dead. Meanwhile, they family praying, knowing they ain't never coming back. I can't lie, I lose control of my emotions. When I close my eyes and
What made you go to college?
Okay. Yes, this is a good question because okay, the reason that I went to college because it was the path that was already paved out the most for me
Yeah,
because that's how it is these days, especially in America. And also because I was always like at the top of my class, so it was also just like that's another reason why it was just like easy to go there.
yeah, for sure.
And since and I was like, okay, just go along with it. So that's why I went to college because it was an option and it was like it was an easy option.
So do you feel like through college you're finding your passion, or your
Yes.
passion is basically your degree?
So I'm majoring in psychology, but I learned that I want to minor in astrophysics.
Yeah, yeah.
And then during the summer I was like, "Oh wait, I want to minor in Spanish too and also major in media arts and design."
You're
So
doing a lot.
yes, I want to do everything because it's like I'm already there, right?
Yeah,
And I survived 1 year, right? So I might as well just do whatever I want.
for
Like,
sure.
just go for it. Because I know a lot of people that they do a bunch of majors. Like, I know people that are doing like a lot like that. So it's like, I know it's possible. It's not gonna be easy, but it's possible.
So do you feel like most people go to college because they are pressured, or do you feel like the majority go because that's just something they want to do? Do you ever feel like there's an outside pressure pushing them to do that?
Definitely.
So,
Yeah.
and that's really what pushed me to go to college. Is the people around me was telling me like, this is what you got to do to be successful. But when I was studying all these other ways of people becoming successful, I realized there was other options.
Yeah. I always knew in the back of my mind that there's other options, especially because like seeing my parents, like they didn't go to college and
Yeah,
they're doing just fine.
yeah, yeah.
They didn't they didn't even finish high school.
I mean, there's a lot of wealthy people that didn't.
Exactly. So it's like, but people listen to mainstream stuff, so they're like, college, college, I need college.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't blame them for it either though. Cause it's like I feel like it's very easy to be influenced by the people around you.
That's facts though. It is facts because you basically gonna do what you see everybody else doing.
Yeah. And where I was at, the college that I was at, just passionate people. Like the most passionate people you'll meet. And some, like, okay, everyone's motivated by different things. So some are motivated by their parents' pressure, but others are motivated by, their own will. And I feel like that's me. Like, I'm like, I don't, cause I got the full ride, bro. That's why I'm
Yeah,
there.
facts.
I have everything paid for, and it's in this big city. I'm from the University of Chicago. No, it's the University of Chicago. Literally, I only heard about it through Questbridge.
What is that?
It's something that Miss, what's our
Miss
counselor?
Duke?
Miss Duke. She sent me an email. She was like, "Look at this." I was like, "What is that?" And she was like, "Sunny did it. That's how Sunny got to MIT." I was like, "Okay." And so I took her word for it, and I joined one of the info sessions, like the on Zoom,
Yeah.
and I heard about it. I was like,
So
"Sounds like a plan."
what is what do you feel like is something you learn from college? Not necessarily just like the academics, but like just life.
Mm, okay. Well, one of them. Okay. So I learned that people can be very dramatic. Like, and of course, duh, right? But it's like I don't know. I don't know how to word it, but Like what I went through during spring quarter, it's like also it's weird like the culture shock like we were talking about earlier. Like not everyone says hi to everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But I'm such a people like I like talking to people,
Mm.
especially if I'm going to see them every day.
Yeah.
Like so I lived with these people. We lived on the same floor, went to the same school, ate at the same dining hall, studied at the same place. But it's like no communication.
So you tried to like initiate it.
The beginning of the school year, yes. I was like, "Hey guys, can I study in here with y'all?" And like they were cool with it. They're like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Okay." And so I studied with them, but it's like I didn't try to initiate it anymore after that.
Yeah.
And cuz I was like, trying to just like it wasn't my priority anymore, you know?
Mm.
But like I feel like even though we don't talk to each other, it's like we know each other. So it's like so it's okay. I learned that it's okay to not say hi to everyone.
Yeah.
And it's not like they have beef with you or you have beef with them. It's just that like people are brought up differently. How was your college experience?
Mm. I mean, it was cool, but to me, it was just like it was just basically like a big high school to me.
Because honestly, that is so real. That
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
so real. Like it's this cliques. There's cliques, and then there's lunch tables, and then there's
Yeah.
oh, I pressed the button.
Is
Oh
it still
no,
on?
I turned it off. Wait. Okay, it's on again.
All right, bet.
I need to not mess with it. Okay.
So basically, yeah, like I said, it was just a big high school to me. Like I noticed like the same shit, like with the popularity and all the what's the word? I don't really know the word I'm looking for. It goes hand in hand with like the popularity and shit.
The
Just like just
hierarchy?
just like the labels you would put
The
like the jocks and these kids and these
yes,
kids.
bro.
And I was like, I don't never really fit into any of them labels because it's like I play sports, but I'm also fucking with people in band. I'm also fucking with people that's doing other things outside of just
Yeah.
what I'm doing. But I feel like it was a nice experience. It was something for me to know that wasn't for me. I had to experience it to know that it wasn't the route I
Yeah.
had to take. And like you said, it's a culture shock because you get to see people, different type of people and things that you wouldn't see down here. Because we
Mhm.
come from a small town. And you said some people don't talk, but my experience is like when you go in like bigger cities and bigger towns, I feel like they're more likely to talk to you than if we were to just be walking around down here.
That's true.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not against college or anything, but I always tell people to make sure you're going for yourself and not like people pressuring you into it. Because if you get a degree for something you don't even care for, you're basically just gonna be working a job that's not your passion, and you're gonna be miserable.
Yeah, it's like what were all those years for? Like if you're going to do something, you got to make sure you're about it. Like that
So
you're actually like you're like you said, like you're doing it for yourself. Like yeah, maybe your parents like pushed you to it or your friends around you like they're like gave you that option,
yeah,
but it's always an option. I feel like sometimes people forget that there's other options.
yeah, and
You
that's
know?
that's the thing. Like it's not widely spoke about for like the people. It's not often spoke about. We often have people just you're either an athlete or you going to college, and that's pretty much it. Cause you don't really usually hear like people talk about other things like entrepreneurship and all these
Mm,
other avenues.
yeah, that's true.
Imagine it just starts raining.
Ooh, Mother Nature has something to say too.
Hell yeah. I think it's fixing to start raining.
Wow, it feels so much better.
Hell yeah.
Like the cold air, it probably will start raining. What do we do now?
So when you when you went to college, what is something you noticed that was different? It's kind of similar to the question I asked you earlier.
Hmm.
What is something you noticed was different from like being in a small town versus you going to a city with nobody you knew?
Let me think about
Or
this.
how was that experience going into that without anyone going with you?
Oh, bro, I was so ready to be on my own. I was like, yes, freedom, no parents, nobody to tell me what to do. Because I feel like I've been very independent since I was tiny. Like
Yeah,
always, because I lived with 3 older brothers, and I only had my mom that was also a girl. And then so it's like I just learned how to. I just always like knew how to be by myself because my brothers would always be doing something else. So like going to college, like okay, yeah, like it is a big change, but I always knew that like I'm very good at adapting to
mm,
change, like adapting to my environment. So like I knew I was gonna be okay. But I when going in there, I was so homesick. I got so homesick, and but like I didn't want to admit it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I was like, no, I don't need them. So like I thugged it out, you
yeah.
know. But what was the question?
I said, how did it? What
What
was?
was the
Yeah,
difference? The biggest difference between Dangerfield and the college that I go to, I guess everyone there has so much more confidence. Like they're so confident,
mm,
they don't doubt themselves. And so seeing that, I was like, I can be just like them.
yeah,
I grew so confident in myself just being around those types of people.
mm,
But it didn't happen automatically because because okay, so our school they go by quarters, not semesters. And so I feel like each quarter, so there's autumn quarter, winter quarter, and then spring quarter. I feel like each quarter it got easier.
mm,
But like when I say it, I'm not talking about schoolwork. Oh, schoolwork does not get easier, but everything else gets easier because it's like you surround yourself with the right people that and then you just I mean, you're there at school like there's nothing else to do except your work.
yeah,
Cuz like yeah, there's stuff to do off campus, but it's like off campus is so far. And that school does all the assignments are back to back to back. Like you only have 10 weeks in a quarter and you learn just as much as you do like in a regular college. Like you still learn the same amount, but it's like so fast paced. So it's like you don't really have time to be sad.
yeah.
You really don't.
That's crazy.
You really yeah, it is crazy.
So how do you balance your mental health going to college?
Well, I mean, how do I balance it? Okay, so how do I balance it?
Yeah,
Meditating, affirmations, these little things,
hell yeah.
crystals. They're
It's
so
it's
nice.
crazy you say that because as I was in college, I had an affirmation book. I would read every rising. I don't say morning. Every rising before I would go to class, I would read my affirmations.
And how like did you feel like it made a difference?
Yeah, I feel like I was reprogramming my subconscious.
Yes. Yes. I also was doing that. It's like you're unlearning bad habits, you
Yeah,
know?
because people always say things are hard, but I
And
feel like it's only hard if you tell yourself that it's hard.
bro, literally, I try to tell everybody that. But it's like it's hard to tell people that and they actually listen to you because it's like they're stuck in their own world. Like everyone's living in their own world. And so if you tell them something that they don't believe, it's going to be really hard for them to believe you.
Yeah, it's always hard to like convert somebody into believing something.
Convert them like
Once
it's a religion.
yeah, I didn't even want to use that word, but when somebody's stuck in their belief, like it's really hard to get them out.
It is. And I also thought about like, okay, so I'm going to be well, right now I'm planning on being a psychological therapist, right? But I also thought about other things I could do, like a shaman. Like those are like,
I heard of it. I heard it in a song. I'm
yeah,
not sure what it is, but
it's like you're a spiritual healer, basically. It's like a therapist, but like spiritually.
That's crazy. That sound fire though.
I know, but like, oh, it's raining now. But yeah, I'd still like that job. I thought also about being like a spiritual teacher for kids. You know?
That's fire though.
I still want to do that. I still probably will do that eventually.
Hell yeah, cause once again, I don't shun college, but the high school system, I feel like it doesn't teach kids about things like meditating and how to balance your mental health. Because imagine if we taught kids about affirmations and meditating, they really wouldn't. I don't feel like we would have much bullying and all this other shit going on.
Yeah. But like, you know, the school system, it's to make workers, not free thinkers.
Some real shit. I actually said that shit in the video.
Really? We've probably been watching the same, like we probably get our inspiration from the same people.
Hell yeah.
Like we're probably already on the same wavelength.
I believe so. I believe the law of attraction.
Me too. I saw your dream board. I was like, slay.
Hell yeah. I believe if we wasn't operating at the same frequency,
we wouldn't be
in this room together.
Yeah.
Like the universe, I believe it just pulled us here.
Yeah.
Everything happened for a reason.
Yeah.
So what do you? I mean, I kind of asked you that. Like after college, where do you think you'll move? Or what do you think is next after that?
After college?
Or you're not thinking?
I gotta go to grad school after college.
Damn.
Yes, I have to go to grad school and be a grad student. But like, yeah, I'm not thinking about that. Like, I don't even think about my airplane ticket to go back to school.
Yeah.
Because I know around what time it is. So it's like, I'll think about it then. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's always good to stay grounded in like what's happening here.
Yes. So I had a summer internship, right? I was supposed to be there the whole summer, like for 10 weeks. But I just had to come back home because I was just not ready. You know? Because 1 year after college, especially that college, I was wrecked. My brain was wrecked, but like it's like I was still motivated to keep going, you know, because like that's how I grew up, you know, just finished a job. No, I needed a break, but I didn't know how to take breaks, so I had to basically just. So the couple weeks in Chicago, I was there for 3 weeks, and then I had to talk to my career advisor, talk to my boss, but I still am just gonna finish the job during school.
Yeah. I feel like you always gotta take a break from shit, cause even with me creating music.